Welcome to another Workshop Wednesday, everybody. If you guys have never been here before, this is where we take the replays of subs on Twitch and we try to coach and help with Telestrator segments and everything else right now. And today we have CookieMaine. He's a platinum player and doing a 2v2 match. I was telling chat as I'm talking to you guys right now, if you guys want to see these live, come to join us on Twitch. But if you ever hear me talking to somebody, it's because I'm talking to Twitch chat because we're live on Twitch right now. But I like 2v2s because there's a lot more space and there's a lot more room for error. So kind of a big fan of 2s. So we're going to kick this right off, get rid of that, hit the play button, see how this goes. Now we've done Cookie or Cookster before. I don't remember one thing we talked to him about and stuff I can already tell is the kickoffs. So we'll see. Let your teammate take that? No, your teammate should have taken that. So that's not your fault here. So first touch with this, if you guys can't tell, it's actually off the wall a little bit. So he's going up on the wall. This ball is actually about that far away from it. So the difficulty is when he jumps off, if he wants to do this correctly and he wants to get a good clear, is he doesn't want to flip actually in any direction. Most times when you air roll, you hit your jump button. Mine's A on an Xbox controller. You lean a direction and then you press A again. In this circumstance, when he drives up the wall, he just wants to hit jump. He doesn't want to lean in any way. He only wants to jump because that will take him and remove him from the wall a little bit. Allow him to connect with this ball, and then he should air roll, which is holding like X in my case, or whatever your button is. Mine's default because I suck. Air roll so your car, like the hood, is facing the other way, so you're not trying to fly upside down. Just to make it easier for you, and then you can use jump again to start the air dribble, and you can air dribble this all the way downfield if you really have the control. That's a mechanic thing that'll take time to pick up and get better at, but by jumping into it, you kind of, when you jump in midair or off a wall, so if like you're up here and you jump off, you don't lose any height when you jump again. You don't fall down like you normally would with gravity. So when he jumps and then he jumps again with a direction pointed, he's just going to flip in that same area, which makes him not hit it with any power. If he just was to jump off normally, his car would push off, hit the ball with it, and then he could rotate with an air roll and then jump and take it with. That's when feathering your boost really comes important because it allows you to keep the ball close to you. But by jumping and flipping with it, he barely touches it. After this, that lion guy should take this and just shoot it on target. It's a free goal. And I think that's what Cook planned for, but the other guy just didn't do it for some reason. So, should have been a goal. Good turn on it. You want to hit that on target. There's nobody here. There's a guy over here that's probably rotating from mid boost. But if you're going to turn on this, just put it on target. At least force this guy who's coming in to make a save. It'll put him out of position. And then your teammate who's behind you, who's over here, which is Lion, should be able to rotate in afterwards and clean this up. But you have to put these on target. So like one of the big things I talk to any platinum level players about, you don't have to be any good, to be completely honest. All you have to do is be able to clear the ball and put it on target. If you put the ball on target, someone will make a mistake. You'll score eventually. Shoot. But by putting it in the corner, you give the other team a little bit of time to recover. Good save. Don't be afraid to not jump into that. So this ball doesn't have any like elevation or power to it. When you come across this, rather than jumping into it, when you jump into it, not only does it put your car out of position somewhere over here, but the ball itself, based upon the way you're challenging, is still going to kind of kill flat and go somewhere back where it started. It removes you from the position, but it doesn't clear the threat of the ball. With this, if you actually just drive a little bit slower and come across it, as long as you're in the same path, and you let it hit your car, you still get the impact of hitting the ball, but then you're still involved in the play. You're not putting yourself over here. So if you just run into it and let the ball tap you, it'll bounce off of that. You can control it up the wall and bring it down. But by jumping there, you have a poor recovery and now you're stuck. But you could have done that all in one swift motion if you wouldn't have jumped. Just let it touch you and kind of roll up. Little difficult on this challenge. You're going a little bit too soon. You have to make the assumption that the other players, based upon their position, are going to make a decision. This guy's closer than you. This guy also closer than you. You have literally like half the field almost away from you in the ball. Your best position is to stay back post or near post, which is the one here, if this is the goal. You want to stay in this area, about right here, and try to make a play coming across so you can make a save, a shot near or far. Doesn't matter. By challenging this, all he has to do is get a quick cut. Like if he comes here and then flicks it this way, you're not going to be able to make a save. So if you're going to approach it somewhat slowly to give yourself enough space to get back or to challenge. But if you go too close, he's just going to be able to flick it over you. Lucky he plays it slow. He still gets it over you, but just goes to show the detriment. You either need to make that decision right away or you need to back off. Same thing with this. You're in the right spot, but I don't think you trust your abilities. You see this, you read it, you know exactly what's going to happen. Go for that immediately. There's a slight delay here, and you'll see it. I'm going to slow it down. Here, you're still waiting, and then you choose to go, which is too late because this guy's already in the air, like an extra jump ahead of you. So you're never going to win this. There's a hesitation. You don't want to hesitate. Teammate should have saved it, too. I don't know why he didn't. That's weird. Just a mechanical issue. Don't be afraid to approach a little bit slower. So you understand that this 50-50 is killed, right? This guy's going to cheat up and get it. So you turn, right? You're making the right play. Take it a little bit wider and take it slower. You want to give yourself as much space between the ball and yourself when making a challenge because it gives you more time to determine how the ball is going to be played. Plus, it also puts it in your favor. Anytime the ball is pushed further away from the opponent who hits it, it makes it so you can control possession. So for this, we're actually going to change the perspective. Let's do a fly cam. So what you want to do is as you turn, take it a little bit wider if you can and try to end up roughly in this area. Because when that shot comes across, obviously this is all based on how hard the shot is, where it's placed, etc. You want to be able to cover not only here, but you also want to be able to jump across and try to make a save here. If you come in too close, he can play it behind you, and you don't give yourself as much time. If you jump from here and try to make a save, as compared to jumping here and trying to make a save, you get more time to actually make that save, and you can come in at a better trajectory. You don't want to cut it too close, so let's see which way you go. So yeah, obviously this doesn't correct for it, but you're coming in at a line like this. If you came at a line like this, you're giving yourself an extra, probably an extra second to get a touch on that ball. If you attack this way, it's going to be a lot easier than trying to go backwards into the ball. The other difficulty of challenging this way with the shot coming across is the trajectory of your car is actually going backwards rather than moving at a even pace into the ball to push it this way. This ball is actually going to come down and actually settle somewhere in this area. Well, this way it'll push it into the corner and try to clear it out. You always want to try to remove the threat of the target. And a lot of that has to do with where you initially challenge the ball. Unfortunately, you come in too fast anyway, and the ball goes in. You can approach this a little bit slower. And then he feels backflip. Even if you didn't feel his backflip, it still would have been in. You were going too fast forward. Take it a little bit wider. Slow your approach a little bit. By going a little bit wider, you have more time to make that approach anyway. Soft touch. I like the pass. Hold on. Wait not to go for the selfish play here. I really like this. See, play it patiently. I'm surprised you got this aerial. He should have gotten that, but you're up a little bit higher. His nose still should have been able to pop it over at least a 50-50 to kind of kill it neutral. But the fact that you get it first is great. The other thing I like about this is your recovery is perfect. All four wheels on the side, you land. If you want to carry your momentum through, you can hold your power slide key and you'll slide down off that. It won't create any friction with the wall. But recovery is great. The best part about this, too, is you hit it soft enough to go for a pass rather than a selfish play. A lot of people in Plat would actually take a shot here, and you choose not to. Soft touch here. Sets it up nice and easy for the teammate. Other thing that would be beneficial for you is I haven't seen you cheat up once on a kickoff. Most circumstances in higher levels and in general, he's going to go for a diagonal kickoff. You should take this boost path and kind of hover right about here where the other boost path is, or the boost pad is, and then go for the cheat up. It's a little bit more cautious as long as it doesn't pinch really hard or his teammate isn't like right behind him. But you guys are going to lose possession and lose kind of the aggression every single time if you don't cheat up. Because I think they're going for cheat ups. They are. So as soon as that ball bounces, he gets another touch. It's weak, but his teammate was already there to make a play before you. I don't know what your teammate's doing. It should have been a goal. Your teammate hit that outside instead of inside. Curious to see if you jump into this again too, instead of rolling it up the wall. Yeah. So this is something that you just have to read the trajectory on. So one thing you do well is you cut in. You were originally going this way, and you cut in instead and went for more of a direct path on the ball, which is fine. You're basically just trying to delay this guy's touch to play it inside. By hitting it to the left, you're basically forcing a challenge while he's moving this way. That's going to pinch at the least angle of resistance, which is this way, which puts it off the wall and puts it back into the midfield, which puts a shot on target, which you need to be careful of. Your best bet here, even if it leads to a demo, is to just try to get it and drive it up the wall. You want to play this up the wall and either go this way, or you can play it back if you feel comfortable enough. Like, you're going to beat him to this, no matter what. And he's coming at a pretty sharp angle. Like, he's committed to this. If you play it this way, like, you're way too far over, because I understand you're trying to play it this way. But if you're going to do that, you need to get right behind it and then jump into it. Even still, his power and his force coming through is still going to beat you, because you're not hitting it head on. You're hitting it from your side. But you could easily play it into the corner here. Just carry through. You're probably going to get demoed, but you're just trying to get it up in an awkward spot so your teammate can rotate back and make a save. Playing it across is probably the worst thing you can do. The centers for the team. Not trying to judge you for the mechanical issues. Those are things you'll get better in time. This is just more of a reading concept. So you shadow the ball here. You get a touch on it. It's great. Pops over. Based upon where you're at, and I'm glad I paused it right when I did. You're going outside, which is the right thing to do. Based upon where the ball is going to bounce, it's going to hit somewhere in this area and bounce either up or out or towards you. You have two things that you have to do here. Number one is trust the teammate behind you and set him up. Number two, understand where this guy is. So this guy's going to get to this corner before you are and going to be able to play it either which way. Same thing applies towards real life in soccer as well, or football if you're in Europe, as does in Rocket League. Is your job as a person on offense or the first man up or a midfielder or someone that's in the attacking position is you're trying to force things inside. It forces it into traffic, as they refer to it. You want to maintain and contain the offense of the other team because it makes it easier to make a save. So by letting him get outside, creates issues, allows him to pass, allows him to bring it downfield, etc. So you're facing the right way. It looks like you're going to go and cut off thing on the wall, which is what you should do. This ball's playing into the corner, and based upon the way it's going to traject, it's going to roll up the wall and probably go this way. You want to go up and stay on this wall and basically be a block and try to stop it. The issue is you come back in and you wait for like an aerial or something. I forget what happens after this. We'll have to look, but you're facing the right way. And the fact that you go back in is kind of weird when you could just go up the wall, cut off this angle, and then your teammate who's behind you move into a position to then cover where you were a little bit further back, roughly about midfield. So cut off the wall angle. Instead you cut back in, and I don't know why. Just go for the wall right away. The fact that you back off though is good. You like don't commit a jump or anything to it. On this one, make sure you retreat. This guy's going to return and go downfield. He's going to collect all these boost pads if he's smart. The other player who's in the corner over here already has possession and can bring it down the wall. You want to come across, take these, and go to this midfield boost, and then come across. You're trying to get back as quick as possible. By putting yourself in the corner, you're removing yourself from the play for too long. Get that mid boost, turn left, and go downfield. A couple of these hits are a little preemptive on your next jump. Practice your wave dashes and your half flips. Excuse me. Practice your wave dashes and your half flips. They're a little sloppy. It'll come in time as you get more comfortable with them. You mess up your quick aerial here. So I don't know. This whole concept is just weird. So you bump him, you realize you make a mistake, so you back off. That's fine. Based upon where the ball is and where this guy is approaching, you have two options. You can either go all the way back post. So if pretend this is your goal and we're like right here, right? We're down at the bottom. So pretend this is your goal, but here. And you're technically right here, right? Or technically right here. This is going to be weird. So I'm just going to do it this way. So if this is your goal and you're approaching it right now, right? You have two options. You can either A, continue to keep going this way and cover back post and give yourself time to make a save, or you cut off the attack coming across by going on the backboard or on that back wall. Instead, you come close and you spin around, which one, doesn't give you enough time to make a play, and two, it keeps you too close. You can't cover anything back here. This entire angle is open for a shot. You can literally cover only near post. So you need to go further back and then turn around. So you either need to go further back, turn around so you can cover this area, right? And leave probably the top, like the top right is pretty much the only place that they can go for, or the top left in their circumstance. Or you go up the back wall. And it seems like you're doing that. Like you back off. You could easily go up this back wall in this area and cover this attack coming across, but instead you just don't. And I don't know why. By turning that close and then using a quick aerial, I think you could have got this with a normal aerial. Yeah, you propel yourself up too much. So you hear the second jump there. If you wouldn't have used the second jump, right? So if you turn like that, you jump. You can then air roll and go back, because your trajectory right now is showing me you're going to go this way. Based upon the boost pattern, you're jumping to the right. So you're going to push yourself this way when the ball itself is going this way. If you just jump, and then about here, instead of using your second jump, you turn and you air roll to the right and put your wheels down this way. Your then nose is going to have this side higher. So your car is going to be facing, I can't draw 3D. I'm sorry. How would I explain this? Your car is going to be facing this way instead. Right? Which then allows you to then go up for the aerial, make a save here. You can then use that second jump to either flip into it to get power, or you can use it again afterwards. But you're using your quick aerial way too fast on this. Plus, it's keeping, as soon as you use that second jump, it's propelling you into a direction that doesn't allow you to actually have any forgiveness. The only time you should use a quick aerial is if you're trying to beat somebody to the ball. This guy already hit the ball. He's moving in this way. This guy's facing the wrong way. The only person you need to beat is yourself, right? Quick aerial puts you too far past it, and the trajectory is wrong from the start. So if you take it a little bit slower, you wouldn't miss this. Go for the ball instead of the boost. That rolled right at you, and maybe I don't know if you expected that to roll right at you, but make sure you go for the ball instead of the boost. Good patience. Really good patience. It's a good play. Can obviously be cleaned up, but for what you did, it's good. So based upon where you are, you're in a good spot. Plenty of room for him to pass to. This angle is actually cut off, so you being here doesn't do anything because he's going to read the block. So you by being back allows him to get across and play it inside if he needs to. He actually forces a 50-50 into pitches out. You're leaving yourself enough space to make a play and a shot on target. The best part is after that, the way you play the ball, right? So the pinch comes out after the challenge. Least angular resistance is to you. Pinch is out. You turn on it. This angle is very tough to hit because you're too close. If you were back like here, then you could possibly angle your car so it's facing this way and lead it towards the net. But you're not. So instead, you don't actually approach it. You let it come to you, which will basically mean that the ball's possession is going to push this way further than it is this way. And you're slightly angled, so when it hits you, it pops up and plays this way, which then allows you to turn and take a shot on target. So this was perfect setup. You did this really well. You turn into it, you set it, you kind of set yourself up for a pass and an alley-oop, and you put it away. So really well done. It's exactly what you wanted to do. If you play it a little bit harder, you can get a little bit fancier and play it off a backboard, which makes it even harder for them to read, but easier said than done. Also, still not cheating up for kickoffs. That's dangerous. You got lucky on that. So don't cheat up on the kickoff. Allows them to get it again first. About here is where you want to stop. Unless you're going to get this in the air or after the initial bounce, you need to give yourself a little bit more space to read this based upon what I can tell mechanically from your standpoint. And you want to take it at a little bit wider approach. Because by hitting it this way, you're forcing it into the corner and then out. But if you come in at an angle of this, not only are you going to win the 50-50 and it's going to pinch off that wall and go back out, but it's also forcing more power that way, which allows you to win this and challenge it past him if he's challenging from here. You want to play it past the guy, not into him. But you should be able to read this as it comes off. If you were facing the way that I just mentioned, you would have already been there for it. But if he's playing out into the mid like that, it's out of your reach. There's already a player there from ALB that you can see. Don't even bother going. You committed roughly 30 boost for nothing. That technically should have been your teammate's ball, not yours. Okay, no, he's going back. So you're fine to challenge that. Just make sure it's sooner. Also backflipping here. Your teammate's right behind you. He can get more power on that. Just leave it. So it's the same premises that you did here, right? So this ball gets played around. You get boost. You turn around. And you see him rotating back, right? So he's moving back. Therefore, that tells you that it's time to go forward. Okay? You're too far away from this play to make a play, so you need to be in at least this position or this area. This guy's probably going to play it up the wall, so you pretty much have to preemptively jump an aerial for this, but that's a whole different story. Okay? He's backing off, so you move in. It goes over your head. You can't do anything with it. Your teammate, who you know just backed off, should have full boost and is now in a position facing this way. You should rotate out in one of two ways. You should either go wall and go out of the way. Probably that way because it's the easier route and the quickest route to stay out of his way if he's approaching quickly because he's probably going to come in through this way. Or you can go around this way and go back behind him again. But by hitting this lightly, it just kind of kills it in a weird area. And if this guy is fast enough, he can get to it again. You're setting up the other team. Let your teammate take it. Because then you're just throwing away possession again. You're lucky that they messed it up. Committing to when you shouldn't. Stay wide for this. Let this play develop. He's coming in across like this, and there's already still a guy chasing him. So if that 50-50 happens, it's actually going to work in blue team's favor. If you come in on this and anything goes wrong at all, you're now committing two players to the same spot, and they still have a free person available over here. who can play that downfield, and it's a wide open field. Just a long clear and you're done, right? So don't commit to this. Wait for this to develop, then go and attack. You want to actually give as much space to this as possible. Go back a little bit further. Just wait for this to develop and then attack after. You guys got really lucky on that. Biggest thing I noticed for you, Cookster, is that your approach on the ball is a little bit too rushed. You flip into things and you miss it a lot. And I don't know if it's because you air roll a lot with your hits or what's causing it, but like you air roll again with that, and I don't know why you do it. It's forcing you to miss a lot. Wow, we made that. The best part about this is you didn't commit to anything. Just wait for it to develop. You're really close. So there's pros and cons to this. You're constantly moving, which allows you to get to it first. The downfall, though, is if anything bad happens, look how close you are to the ball. Like, that doesn't give you any time for recovery to either attack or to go back. So it either works out perfectly or it doesn't work at all. Like, if this guy challenges this right, you're out of position. You got to retreat back as fast as possible, and you're probably going to get beat on a breakaway against a player who knows what they're doing. Benefit, though, is you can get to it really quick. So give yourself a little bit more space between the play, especially in Plat. A lot of things go wrong. If you're going to if you're not going to go for a 100 boost in either corner, you have to cheat up. Because this only allows you to get an extra 24, which puts you at 56 boost, which is great. So if you get 12 here, 12 here, that puts you at 56 boost, which is fine. But you could use that 56 boost by going this way and get possession of the ball. Either go get boost, get 100, and play defense, or get an extra 12, possibly 56, and play offense and have possession and push it downfield. But doing neither just doesn't help you at all. There's more optimal things to do. Also, my apologies. It's 57 boost because technically, if you guys don't know, when you start with boost, you have 32 and a third. Each can is 12.33 repeating boost. If you guys don't know that. So each small pad is 12.33 boost repeating, and you start with 3 and a third. So if you get 2 more boost pads, and we'll do 0.66 just to make it easier. This altogether is 57. If you guys didn't know. That's why he has 57 and not 56. But doing 12 is easier than 12.3. And 1 boost doesn't really do you anything. Sometimes where all boost matters, but we get to go overtime? We do. So don't commit to anything before overtime. You don't want to make a mistake. I get it. It's fine. So you play this. Still waiting. Still waiting. They just mess up. Okay. You play patient until there's a mistake. There's fine. Although overall it's fine, man. Like, biggest thing I noticed is you air roll a lot for your hits, and you shouldn't. I don't know why you do. The only time you need to air roll is if you're trying to get a sharper angle on which way you're trying to play it, whether it's to be around somebody or if, like, you're super wide of the goal. Like, say the ball is here in the air and you're here. You air roll so your car gets a bigger hit coming across and it plays it further post. But other than that, like, your air roll hits are kind of weird. It forces you to miss a lot. Your approach is a little bit too fast. Give yourself more space and time for the ball to develop, and then make sure when you do hit the ball, it's with power and it's on target. The majority of the time, you'll apply so much pressure to the other team in Plat just by hitting the ball with power on target. It'll allow you to get a lot more wins. But that was Cookster, 2v2 Plat.